Hello everyone, welcome to IAS with Arihant. Student, as you know, every day at 9 p.m. we are discussing about the Indian polity, and this series is basically called as Prelims Possible. And here we are going to discuss about the very beautiful portion of the Indian polity students. And this session is going to be beneficial for students, those who are preparing for state PSC as well as for the UPSC. And those who are going to appear in 2024, it is also going to be very beneficial for them students, okay, as well as if you're going to participate in future examination, definitely it is going to be beneficial session for you. And students, this session is totally based on this book, this red book, and this book contains lots of information. I'm going to discuss the features of this book in the same series, students, and it will be helpful to you. And student, as you know, we already started with the chapter that is Schedule of Indian Constitution, and there is approximately 50 questions. Few questions is still remain, okay. So we will start from the same question, okay, means where we left, okay. If you feel any doubt and difficulties, we are all free, and I will just give a quick outline of the session also, means of the topic also, and after that we'll start. But before that, we need to know what this book contains and why this book is important for it. It is a panacea for your examination, okay. So why this is going to be important? As you know, this book contains a very beautiful information, chapter wise as well as topic wise, okay. So this chapter is divided into topics, okay. Along with that, there's a topical mind map. Every topic is divided into a mind map that is going to be beneficial, and it is 100% error free, means there is a very beautiful explanation, and that is going to help you a lot, okay. Along with that, students, there's a knowledge plus for typical questions. Along with that, students, in the last there's a 3500 plus PYQ bullets, so it is also going to help you in the term of revision, okay. I hope you all able to understand. Now student, if you see here, if you move further, I just told you that in our Indian Constitution there is initially 8 schedule when Constitution was implemented, but now as for 2024, we have now 12 schedules, okay. So few schedules was added later, like this schedules I'm just explaining here. 9th schedule was added by first Constitutional Amendment Act, 10th schedule was added by 52nd Constitutional Amendment Act, 11th by 73rd, and 12th by 74th. If we talk about what these schedules contain, first schedule contain basically about the state and union territories and their name. Second schedule about the salary and emoluments of the constitutional offices, okay. Third schedule is connected with the form of oath. And one very important thing, students, we already discussed कि basically the president, vice president and governor oath provision is not there. If we talk about the fourth schedule about the allocation of seats of Rajya Sabha, fifth schedule is basically connected with the administration of scheduled area as well as scheduled tribe, okay, other than those states who included in the sixth schedule. If we talk about the sixth schedule, students, it is about the tribal area administration of Assam, Mizoram, Tripura and Meghalaya, AMTM, okay. You can remember this format. And after that, students, the seventh schedule, if we talk about the seventh schedule, that is about the distribution of power between center and state, okay. 8th schedule about the language, 9th schedule about the, basically it is connected with the land reform, Jamindari abolition as well as certain land reform acts, okay. If we talk about the 10th schedule of Indian Constitution, students, it is about the anti-defection. As let's suppose some person is just leaving one party, moving to the other party, okay. So that is anti-defection, okay. So there is a provision for anti-defection, okay. Then 11th schedule was added by 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, and it is about the panchayat, okay, panchayat power. And 12th schedule is connected with the municipalities, power, authority and function of municipalities, students. So see, this all provision is going to be important for you, so stay tuned. We are going to discuss MCQs, and this MCQs is going to be very helpful, and that's why we already told you कि yes, you must go with this book. This book contains lots of questions, okay, and it is going to help you in each and every stage of your preparation, okay. So first question of the day on your screen today. Now it says that which schedule of the Constitution, students, another very important thing you must know. Those who are very new to this channel, subscribe the channel as well as press the bell icon. Why press the bell icon? Because whenever a video is going to start, you will get a notification, so easily you can trace the classes as well as you can make yourself scheduled. Okay, so this is going to help you a lot. Okay, so now there's a question ki which schedule of the constitution the demand for including Chhattisgarh Bhasha is rises in Rajya Sabha. So see, so in the different region students, there is a demand for inclusion of different languages. Initially what you find students in our Indian constitution, there was 14 language. How many languages are there? These are 14 languages students. Okay, so there is a 14 languages. Okay, but as you know, sorry for my writing, actually I am a little injured, so try to understand it. Okay, but there was some updation was taken place, and if we talk about this update, let me tell you. Okay, so if I am going to tell you about this update students, what you find, we have now 22 languages. But once again, when these languages was included, so I am going to tell you some important amendments. Okay students, the first language was added, means after this 14 language, that was Sindhi. It was added by amendment that is called as 21st Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, once again students, there was an amendment that was takes place in 1992, that was 71st Constitutional Amendment Act. At that time 3 languages was added, and these language was Konkani, Manipuri and Nepali. So Konkani, Manipuri, Nepali, these are the 3 languages which was added by 71st Constitutional Amendment Act. Student, so by this way Sindhi included as 15th language, and these 3 language made it 18 language. One more amendment was done, that is called as 92nd Constitutional Amendment Act students, that was done in year 2003. What you find at that time students, 4 languages was added. One is Bodo, another is Dongri. Okay, then there is another language that is called as Maithili, and then Santhali. So Bodo, Dogri, Maithili, Santhali, these are the 4 languages which was added by 92nd Constitutional Amendment Act. So by inclusion of these languages students, now we have 22 languages in our Indian Constitution. And where it is mentioned students, if you talk about, so if we are going to include any language in the schedule, it is going to be included in 8th schedule of Indian Constitution. In which schedule? It is going to be included in 8th schedule of Indian Constitution students. So just try to remember, just try to note down these things. As you know, this 9th schedule is connected with the basically some land reforms, Jamindari abolition, land reform acts. Okay, so just try to remember the same concept students. I hope you are able to understand. So this is about the 31st question, and now we are going to see explanation, and this explanation are very beautifully included under this book. Okay, and I'm just trying to show you the same. If we talk about this, so basically explanation says that demand for including Chhattisgarhi Bhasha in 8th schedule of the Constitution was raised in Rajya Sabha. Okay, as you know, Rajya Sabha is a body that in English is called as Council of State, and basically the state representative are here, and they are demanding concern related to their state, means they are demanding the solution related to their state, they are demanding the provision related to the state. Okay, so that's why this demand was raised in the Rajya Sabha. As I told you already, 8th schedule of Indian Constitution contain official languages of India. And students, if you see in our Indian Constitution, there is 22 official language. Initially we have 14 languages, and as you know students, Chhattisgarhi Bhasha is not an official language. It is not a scheduled language. And one more thing I like to mention here students, English is also not included under this schedule. Okay, so I'm just going to show you that also. Now, which of the following language is not included in 8th schedule of Indian Constitution? Another very important question. English, Hindi, Urdu, Sanskrit. Okay, I hope you all able to connect it. I hope you all able to understand it. Getting it now? So this is very simple students. You not need to worry for anything. Just you have to react. So if you see English is not included under the 8th schedule of Indian Constitution, Chhattisgarh PSC pre 2018. If you see here, basically this explanation, English is not included in the 8th schedule of Indian Constitution. 8th schedule is concerned with official language, although there was many languages spoken across country, but only 22 languages are recognized as official language. These are, students, I am going to explain: Assami, Bengali, Bodo, Dogri, Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, Kashmiri, Konkani, Maithili, Malayalam, Manipuri, Marathi, Nepali, Odia, Punjabi, Sanskrit, Santhali, and Sindhi, Tamil, Telugu, and Urdu. These all included under the 8th schedule of Indian Constitution, students. I hope you all able to connect it. Okay, so this is the part of the 8th schedule of Indian Constitution. And try to connect one more thing, students. What you see here, Sanskrit. Sometime you may get confused. Sanskrit also the part of the scheduled language. Okay, so just try to remember for the examination, as well as you know, once you are filling the form for this UPSC 2024, and it is already previously also, so it is a recent event, so that's why I'm just trying to including here. What you see, students, ki basically this there's a language that you have to choose a language in which language you have to write some essay. Okay, so language paper is also there, so you can choose any language from the schedule. Okay, schedule 8 of Indian Constitution. Now, students, Uttar Pradesh Jamindari Abolition and Land Reform Act 1950 is contained in which schedule of Indian Constitution? If it is about the Jamindari abolition, so it is in the 5th schedule of Indian Constitution, 9th schedule of Indian Constitution, 7th schedule of Indian Constitution, or basically is 11th schedule of Indian Constitution. So as you know, students, this 5th schedule is connected with the scheduled area as well as the scheduled tribe administration, not for Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Tripura. 7th schedule is basically for the allocation of power between center and state. 9th schedule is basically connected with the land reform, students. It is connected with the land reform. So this is also very important. You must try to connect and note down the things. Okay. 11th schedule is basically for the panchayat and their power, students. So there is 29 subject. On that subject only panchayat can create any provision, law and other things, students. Okay. So if you see explanation, the Uttar Pradesh Jamindari and Land Reform Act 1950 is contained in the 9th schedule, and this schedule is related to land reform and Jamindari abolition. Subjects included in the 9th schedule cannot be challenged in the court, but can be reviewed by Supreme Court in the context of violation of fundamental rights, students. Okay, so this is very, very important. I hope you are able to understand. Okay, so it says that ki, let's suppose you are basically in the 9th schedule something is added. Okay, it cannot be challenged in court. Okay, but Supreme Court has right, they can review it, they can open it, they can check it if that right or that subject or that provision is going to take away your fundamental right. Getting easy? Okay, now there is another thing. The 9th schedule was included in Constitution of India during the Prime Ministership of Jawaharlal Nehru, Lal Bahadur Shastri ji, and Indira Gandhi and Morarji Desai ji. So ये इतने सारे name है. Okay, and you have to choose the right thing. UPPSC 2019, IAS pre 2019, and this question is going to be important. As you know, students, 9th schedule was added in 1951. Okay, so this is the first amendment, first Constitutional Amendment Act. Just give me a second, students. Okay, extremely sorry for this disturbance. Okay, I hope you got it. So basically students, this 9th schedule was added in 1951, and at that time students, if you talk about the Prime Minister, so it was means basically Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru sir was the Prime Minister of India, and he was the first Prime Minister of India and the longest duration Prime Minister of India, students. Okay, so 1964 he was died. Okay, so I'm just going to discuss here. The 9th schedule was introduced in Constitution of India during the Prime Minister of Jawaharlal Nehru ji, and it was introduced by first Constitutional Amendment Act 1951. It deals with the provision related to the acts and regulation, originally 13, but now there is a 284 regulation or acts included under 9th schedule, students. Okay, of the state legislature dealing with the land reform and abolition of zamindari system, and of the parliament dealing with the matter. Okay, so dealing with the other matter, students. So as I told you already, if it is going to be included in the 9th schedule of Indian Constitution, if it is not violating your fundamental right, then it is okay. If it is violating your fundamental right, then Supreme Court has power to review the provision or review the act, students. Okay, so 9th schedule made to protect the central and state law from judicial review, but in I.R. Coelho versus State of Tamil Nadu, Supreme Court ruled that law placed under the 9th schedule can be challenged on the ground of violation of the basic structure of the Indian Constitution. So if it is about the basic structure, then it can be challenged. Okay, getting it? One more question is here that is also connected with the 9th schedule. It is going to give you the good concept. Now, which one of the following statement with regard to the 9th schedule of Indian Constitution is not correct? Okay, and this question is belonging to UPSC IAS pre 2018. Now, it was inserted by Constitution by the Constitution First Amendment in 1951. So First Constitutional Amendment Act 1951, as you know, students, recently I told you it is it was the first amendment done was 1951, and this is correct. After that, why it was introduced is here. As you know, students, there is an article 31, that is about the fundamental right. Okay, right to property. Basically, people are not able to take away the fundamental right. Okay, so if someone has property, so government cannot seize anyone's property. So that's why this schedule was added. So Supreme Court cannot interfere. But in later time, Supreme Court says that whole constitution we can review. Okay, now act and regulation specified in the 9th schedule shall become void on the ground that it violates a fundamental right in part 3 of Constitution. So it's basically, it says that if acts and regulation specified in 9th schedule allowed shall become void on the ground that if violate the fundamental right in the part 3 of the Indian Constitution. Okay, now next says that Supreme Court has power of judicial review of an act including the 9th schedule on the doctrine of basic structure. D says that appropriate legislature can repeal or amend an act specified in the 9th schedule of the Indian Constitution, students. So just opt the right answer very carefully. As you know, these type of questions has little trick. Okay, so basically if you talk about the not correct, so it is basically option B. I am just going to give you the explanation here. The statement B is not correct about 9th schedule of the Constitution. Okay, the 9th schedule cannot be challenged in court, and the act and regulation specified in this schedule shall not become void on the ground that it violate the fundamental right in part 3 of the Indian Constitution. It was initially added. Okay, so Supreme Court was incorporated with the sole purpose to protect the law made by legislature from the judicial scrutiny, although the Supreme Court has stated that law under 9th schedule would be subject to scrutiny if they violate the fundamental rights, students. Okay, so if it is violating the fundamental right, then it can be reviewed. So it was added later. Okay, then there is the IR Kohilo case, related to which schedule of Indian Constitution, students? So it is also, this case is connected in year 2007. It is also connected with the land reform 9th schedule of Indian Constitution. I am just sharing the explanation here. The IR Kohilo case is related to the 9th schedule of Indian Constitution. Under this, court upheld that it has been established that any law included in 9th schedule which has been added after 24th April 1973 can be challenged if any subject violate the fundamental right. Then Supreme Court review these laws. Earlier, any law included in the 9th schedule could not be reviewed. So initially it was not reviewed, as I already told you, but after that, students, it can be reviewed. Okay, now if we are going to next question, what we are getting, if I am little fast, sorry for that, because I am just writing with a little pain, so excuse me, sorry. Okay, now if you see the next, consider the following statement, and this question is belonging to year 2018 UPSC pre. The Parliament of India can place a particular law in 9th schedule of the Constitution of India. So the validity of a law placed in the 9th schedule cannot be examined by any court. Second statement says that no judgment can be made on it. Now, which of the following statement is correct? Now, see very carefully. So, Parliament of India can place a particular law in 9th schedule of Indian Constitution. Yes, this is correct. The validity of law placed in the 9th schedule cannot be examined by any court. As I already told you, students, कि Supreme Court, to basically protect the fundamental right, they can enter in any part of Indian Constitution. Okay, so they have power of judicial review. So automatically option 1 is, means statement 1 is correct, 2 is going to be incorrect. Okay, so Parliament have placed a particular law in 9th schedule of Indian Constitution. 9th schedule contain provision as to validation of certain act and regulation. Statement 2 says that means it is going to be incorrect because court rule any law enacted under the 9th schedule after 1973 must be examined under the article 14, 19 and 21, students. Okay, so this is one thing, just try to remember for the same, students. Okay, now we are moving further. Now, which one of the following schedule of the Constitution of India contain the provision of anti-defection? So as I told you, students, anti-defection, dal badal, in Hindi it is called as dal badal. And if you see, this question was in UP lower PCS 2013, UPSC 1998 and UPSC 2014. So there is a second schedule, fifth schedule, 8th schedule or 10th schedule. If you talk about the 10th schedule of Indian Constitution, that was added by 52nd. So this is a trick also. 5 into 2 is equal to 10, and this is about the 10th schedule. It was added by 1985, students. So 52nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1985, by this amendment 10th schedule was added, and that is talk about the provision related to defection, means anti-defection. I hope you are able to connect. I am audible to you, students. Let me check. Okay, great. I am audible to you. Okay, great, everyone. So I am just giving an explanation from this book, and as I already told you, this book contains lots of information, and that is going to help you out a lot of students. Now, the 10th schedule of Constitution of India contains provision regarding the anti-defection, and 10th schedule has provision relating to disqualification of the member of parliament, state legislature on the ground of defection. Okay, so this schedule was added by 52nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1985, and 52nd, I already told you, 5 into 2 is equal to 10th schedule. Okay, so defection has been defined as to abandon a position or association, often to join an opposing group. Anti-defection law aim to prevent the MP and MLAs switching from one political party to another political party for any personal motive, students. Okay, if you see the 39th question, now how many items are there in the 11th schedule of Indian Constitution? It is 22, it is 24, 29 or 32. If we talk about students, basically as you know we have some list. Okay, under the schedule number 7 of Indian Constitution we have 3 lists: union list, state list and concurrent list. In the same format, students, as you know कि by 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act 1992 a new part was added, part number 9, and that is containing information related to Panchayat. And students, there was an article 243 to 243O, and if we talk about it, added a schedule also, and that schedule number 11, and this schedule was added by the article 243G. And if we talk about this schedule contain power, authority and provision related to the Panchayat, students. And basically under this question they are asking ki how many items are there. So you'll see there's a 29 items. How many items are there? There's 29 items in the 11th schedule of Indian Constitution. I hope you all getting it. Okay, so this is 29 item. Just try to remember for the same. And another important thing, students, it is visible to you because I can't put pressure on my hand. So I hope ki it is visible to you. If you feel any doubt, just write down in the comment box. Okay, one day more. Okay, I'm going to recover from this pain. Okay, so now if you see, students, there is 29 items in the 11th schedule of Indian Constitution. 11th schedule of Indian Constitution contain provision that specify Panchayat power, authority, responsibility in order for them to function as a local government. 11th schedule was added by 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act 1992. It has 29 subjects such as agriculture, animal husbandry, fishery, etc. The distribution of power between state legislature and Panchayat is enshrined under the 11th schedule of Indian Constitution. Very simple. If we move further, we have the 14th question of this topic, students. So 11th schedule of Indian Constitution is concerned with what? 11th schedule. If we talk about the Panchayat and Nagar Palikas, 11th schedule, it is about the State Finance Commission, it is about the minorities, or it is about the Panchayat. Student, Panchayat and Nagar Palika, these are the two different entities. Panchayat separately included under the 11th schedule, and Nagar Palika, basically municipalities, it is included under the 12th schedule of Indian Constitution. State Finance Commission, it is the part of Panchayat. Okay, so this is also important. Automatically option D is going to be correct for the same. If only Panchayat is there, then it is going to be the right answer. Okay, so 11th schedule of Indian Constitution is concerned with the Panchayat, and it is added by 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act 1992. The schedule deals with the provision to specify power, authority, responsibility of Panchayat. There are 29 functional items that fall under the purview of Panchayat. So this is also important. Basically Panchayat has power, and that power is defined under the 11th schedule of Indian Constitution. If you move further, what you find? Now this question is belonging to Bihar PSC 2022. Up to 2023 there was 5 options, but now they just modified their pattern. Now there is a 4 option only. So which of the following is not part of 11th schedule of Indian Constitution? Libraries, fuel and fodder, rural sports, technical training, and none of the above or more than above. Not part of 11th schedule of Indian Constitution, students. Not part. This type of question is going to be little technical. Okay. 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 So what you see, students, libraries are there. Okay. Fuel and fodder are there. Technical training also there, so the rural people can get the better job at the different places. and then automatically if you see the rural sport is basically not there. Okay, so option C will be correct for the same. So rural sport is not part of 11th schedule of Indian Constitution, and this 11th schedule contains the provision that specify power, authority, responsibility of panchayat. And what you see, students, this was added by 73rd amendment 1992, and there is 29 matters such as agriculture, animal husbandry, fishery, libraries, fuel and fodder, technical training, rural housing, drinking water. Rural sports are not there. Getting it? Now this question once again from the Bihar PSC 2016, and you have to match the following. So this is going to give a concept clarity thing. Okay, so these questions are important for you, and as I told you, students, you must go with this book. It is going to be very beneficial in each and every part of your preparation. Okay, so this book is available in other subject also, so you must go with the same. So union list, state lead and concurrent list, as we already discussed, it is mentioned under the schedule number 7 of Indian Constitution. We already know. This concurrent list concept we derive from the Australia. Okay, and see, in the union list, students, initially how many power are there? 97 power, but now it is updated to 100 subject or entries. State list has initially 66 power, but now it is updated to 61, and concurrent list initially has 47 power, but now it is updated to 52 students. Okay, so concurrent list, now you have to see option means basically code A1, B3 and C2. So automatically option B is going to correct for the same. I hope you all able to connect it. If you feel doubt, just tell me. Now the correct matching is A1, B3 and C2. So we already discussed that the 7th schedule originally contained 97 entries. Now it has 100 entries on which only union has power to make law. State list has 66 entries originally, but now it has only 61 entries. Okay, and concurrent list originally contained 47 entries, but now it has 52 entries. And in the concurrent list, both state as well as center can make law. I hope you all able to understand, students. Sorry. Getting it? Now move further. If you see the 43rd question, which one of the given subject is not correctly matched with their list? It is forest, stock exchange, post office and public health. And this is forest is the part of concurrent list, stock exchange is the part of concurrent list, post office saving bank is the part of union list, public health is the state list. Not correctly matched, students, not correctly matched. Listen very carefully, student. As you know, SEBI, okay, Securities and Exchange Board of India, it is managed by whom? It is by union. So union can make provision on them. So basically stock is the part of union list, not part of the part of concurrent list. Okay, so automatically the option B is going to be incorrect for the same. Okay, so if you see the basically explanation, pair B is not correctly matched as a stock exchange is not the part of concurrent list. It came under the union list. Other entries on on union list are public debt, banking, bill of exchange, patent, corporation tax, state duty. So these are the things which is included under the union list, students. Getting it? Okay, students. Any doubt? No? Okay, if you have, just share with me. Now, which of the following provision of the Constitution of India have a bearing on education? Means where this education related term or provision is included. Under the directive principle of state policy, rural and urban body, 5th schedule of Indian Constitution, 6th schedule of Indian Constitution, 7th schedule of Indian Constitution. Now you have to choose the code according to the right answer. Student, if you talk about article 45 and 46 of the and 47 included also of the directive principle of state policy. So there is a provision कि basically those who are educationally backward, it is a duty of state to promote them as well as educate them. They must bring economical as well as basically the educational equality also. Okay, so it is the part of directive principle of state policy. Rural and urban local body also has power to create and manage the local schools. Fifth schedule is about the scheduled area as well as scheduled tribe. So for scheduled tribe there is a specific schools they can create. Sixth schedule also, Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram, they can also create some specific school for the tribal population. And seventh schedule is about the distribution of power. So if you see students, these all 5 is going to be correct. So all the above means code D is going to be correct for the same students. So we just added here all the given provision of Indian Constitution have bearing the education. Like directive principle of state policy, Article 45 provide early childhood care, education for all children until they complete the age 16 year. But now as you know, now there is a provision for 6 to 14 year free and compulsory education. Under 11th schedule, Panchayati Raj has allowed to make provision as well as they can work for the school and education of one of them, means there is a 29 subject. So education also included as a one subject for them. Fifth schedule, Indian Constitution deal with the administration and control of certain area called as schedule and tribal area in Indian state, which came under the category of fifth schedule. State which include provision or providing education as well. In the same format, 7th schedule for Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram, and 7th schedule also education is the part of the concurrent list where center as well as state both can create a rule and regulation. Okay, now if we move further, we have the 45th question. Now, which of the following is not correctly matched? It is public health and sanitation is the matter of state list, census is the part of union list, allocation of seats of council of state is under the second schedule, anti-defection in the second schedule, allocation of seats of council of state student. Okay, as you know, it is under the fourth schedule of Indian Constitution. Under the second schedule, as we already discussed, there is a provision for salaries. So there is a salary provision. Okay, so these type of questions are very easy and you can easily solve it. Option C is going to correct. I'm just giving here. Pair C is not correctly matched because allocation of seats in the Council of State is listed in the fourth schedule of Indian Constitution, not in the second schedule. Second schedule contains provision about the allowance, privileges, okay, emoluments of president, okay, governor of a state, speaker, deputy speaker. Fourth schedule contains allocation of seats of power between, allocation of seats of council of state. And if it is, see, we already know, okay, so council of state seat division is there. Getting it? Okay, now if you see the next question, you have to match list 1 with the list 2 and select the correct answer from the code given below the list. UPSC 1997 and 2000, union list, state list, concurrent list, residuary power. Okay, listen very carefully. Union list, state list, concurrent list and residuary power. So union list, police and public order, space research, census and programming. Okay, so you have to choose carefully. Okay, if we talk about the state list union list, it is connected with the national interest. So space research is the part of the national interest. Okay, if we move further, students, if we move further, what you find, basically police and public order, it is the part of concurrent list. Okay, state list, basically census and other provision is also there. Residuary power, programming like thing is not included there. So if you go very precisely, then option B is going to be correct for the same students. Okay, so we already discussed space will be the part of union list, 7th schedule. Okay, programming is a residuary subject. Residuary subject are those subject which is not the part of any of the 3 list given under the 7th schedule of Indian Constitution, and over this these provision only Parliament can make any law or provision, students. If we talk about the 47th question of this series, students, list 1 to list 2, you have to match and select the correct answer from the code given below. So there are schedules and there are provisions. First schedule, second, third, fourth and fifth, and there are provision. So state and union territory, it is under the first schedule. Second contain about the salary. Okay. So it is about the salary, yani A1, B5. So if you go to option, you will find right answer, but we are going to solve it. Third schedule is contain about the oath, C2. Fourth schedule is about the allocation of power between center and state, D3. And E, basically fifth, is basically about the administration and control of the schedule area. So what will be right answer? So if you go with the answer, automatically your option A is going to be correct. Getting it? So see, you have to simply do this in very easy and simplest format, students. Okay, getting it? Now, we already discussed about the same. First schedule of Indian Constitution contain the list of state and union territory and their external and territorial jurisdiction. Second schedule about the salary allowance of the president, governor, speaker, deputy speaker of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, okay, chairman, deputy chairman, legislative assembly state speaker, legislative council of state chairman, CAG and Supreme Court and High Court judges. Okay, easy everyone. Third schedule contain the form of oath and affirmation. Fourth schedule contain allocation of allocation of seats of Rajya Sabha. Okay. Fifth schedule about the administration of schedule and schedule area as well as scheduled tribes, students. Once again, you have to match with the same. Third schedule, fourth, 11th and 8th. So third schedule, as you know, you have to see the subject, allocation of seats of Council of State, oath and affirmation, language and this. So oath and affirmation is under the third schedule. So A2. Okay. Fourth schedule, allocation of power, B1. Seventh schedule about the basically subject matter of law to be made by parliament and by state legislature. So this will be the part of the seventh schedule, students. And eighth schedule is contain about the language. So option D is going to be correct for the same. We already discussed about the same, students, but once again I am just explaining. Third schedule about the form of oath and affirmation. It deals with the Article 75 clause 4, like for Prime Minister and Ministers, 99, 124 clause 6, 148 clause 2, 164 clause 3 for Governor, for the Chief Ministers and Ministers of the State, 188 as well as 219. Okay. Fourth schedule contain provision as allocation of seats of Council of State. Seventh schedule about the union list, state list and concurrent list, and eighth schedule is about the languages of Indian Constitution. Now once again we are moving towards the 49th Constitution, and it is from the Jammu and Kashmir PSC, JKPSC pre-2023, and this will be your homework also. Okay. So the Constitution Assembly enacted 9th schedule in the original Constitution to ensure agrarian reform. Okay, 9th schedule. Okay, to reduce the discrimination and denied the equal protection of law guaranteed to citizens under the Article 14 of Indian Constitution. After the landmark judgment of Supreme Court in 2007, the now well settled principle is that any law placed under 9th schedule of Indian Constitution, it is under the court scrutiny. Which of the following code is correct for the same, students? Which is going to be correct? Okay. So as you know, this was already done by basically initially it was done. Okay. So those who are abrogated the basic structure of Indian Constitution, that is going to be included. Okay. So these two are correct. I'm just giving explanation for the same. Okay. 1 and 2 correct, because with respect to 9th schedule of Indian Constitution, it was added by first Constitutional Amendment Act 1951. It contains a list of central and state law which cannot be challenged in court. The purpose of the act was to protect the agrarian society and land reform through the abolition of Jamindari system. It would ensure equality through law, which is fundamental right under Article 14 of Indian Constitution. Statement 3 is incorrect because only those laws will be scrutinized by court which abrogate the basic structure of Indian Constitution after 2007 and not all the law. Okay, so only limited provision is there, judicial review provision. So this is all about the today's session. Now we completed the schedule, and just give your doubts in the comment box, students. And as I already told you, this book is going to help you a lot in your preparation as well as in your path of this success. Okay, so see, I'm saying success because this journey is very beautiful. Once you enjoy it, you're definitely going to have it. Okay, so see, this book is available, and other books are also available for the prelims possible series like Indian history, geography, Indian polity, Indian economy, general science. So it is 100% error free, knowledge plus with the typical question, PYQ bullets for revision, and free package chapter test also. So you must go with this. Thank you so much for joining and listening, students. We'll meet soon, everyone. Take care. Have a great day. Soon my hand is going to be okay, and then definitely I'll write in a perfect way. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Have a great day, students.